does it mean to have brave leadership? I mean, at the core of leadership, of great leadership, is courage. It is being willing to take a risk, to lay our pride on the line, our vulnerability on the line, our reputation on the line, for something that's more important than our own egos. And I'm sure many of you have been following the 12 boys and their coach trapped in the cave in Thailand. I have not turned on the television so much for probably years as I have in the last couple of days. And I was so elated last night to hear they had all been brought out safely, along with those who'd done the rescue. And they are being hailed as heroes. And they are heroes, particularly those men who have gone in to get them all out. And of course, one person did lose their life. But often when we see things like that, we go, wow, look how brave they are. Look how courageous they are. Oh, those boys, look what they did. And yet within every single one of us is a capacity to act with courage, to do great things. And we may never find ourselves in a situation, I hope not, that is where we are literally, our life is on the line. And if we don't push through fear, we will not be able to see another day. However, where does fear of being rejected, fear of failing, fear of, to your point, Alan, not being enough, as being exposed as an imposter, exposed for, I'm not as smart as people think I am, I'm not as capable as people think I am, get in the way of you individually and all of us collectively making the mark that we are each capable of making? And I mean, the data is compelling. When more women sit at decision-making tables, better decisions are made. We need the diversity. We also need the inclusion. It's not just about what we do as individuals, it's also about creating change within the culture and the process and the policies of our organisations and institutions. So what gets in the way of that? Well, I have actually lived around the world and worked around the world. And a few years ago, I was living in Washington, DC. I lived there for about 7 years. And this woman put up a wall in Alexandria, Virginia. It was called the Courage Wall. What would I do if I was being brave? If I wish I had the courage to. And people filled it in. And it quickly, I'd ask her out on a second date, I'd go back to college, I'd quit my job, and so on and so forth. And it's a question I think we all need to ask ourselves. What would you do if you were being brave? Because looking back at the end of our lives, there's a lot of uncertainty in the world, but one thing is certain, we are all going to die. It's not a matter of when, it's a matter of if. And we know that at the end of life, it is not the risks that we have taken, and even when things haven't worked out, that people regret the most. It's the risks that we didn't take, that we didn't put our hand up, that we didn't take that opportunity overseas, or that we didn't put ourselves out there and pursue the adventure, that we played it safe and stayed comfortable. And that's because, as human beings, we are not wired to blaze trails. We are not wired to risk our security and safety and our comfort. We're wired to protect those things. It goes back to it is wired into our brain, that reptilian brain. Play safe. Don't risk the discomfort, that emotional pain of feeling like, oh, I rejected, I failed, I didn't have what it would take.